All right, guys. So I think I'll begin like a new sort of video series on this channel where I lay out like the full approach to the blueprint as implemented in real life. So essentially, just how do I implement the blueprint myself? And this is primarily targeted at people who've read the blueprint, but as a beginner, perhaps still wants to like see how exactly it's implemented. So I'm essentially just going to show with weekly videos like this how exactly you implement the blueprint, training wise, nutrition wise, recovery wise, etc. Right, and how you stay consistent. Give tips and tricks. If you have any questions about it, let me know as well, and I'll answer those in these videos. So yeah, you see me warming up in the background right now. And you warm up by just doing like easier versions of the exercises you otherwise do. So as I'm about to do weighted chin-ups, I do bodyweight chin-ups, right? To just get some blood flowing out in the muscles and joints and stuff. Then I move on to push-ups, and I already did the squats. And as you saw me, I went down into a deep squat. And in general, I recommend any recovery or any mobility work, flexibility work, posture work, I just do as the first thing during your warm-up, or at least at some point during your warm-up. As I do here, so I do scapula push-ups to sort of try to fix my still remaining scapula winging. It was far worse in the past, but I still have it to some degree. So yeah, and when it comes to diet, it's just been as it normally is. So in the blueprint, I showed you how I ate like eggs, meat, rice, and vegetables, and that's still what I eat pretty much for breakfast and dinner, or breakfast and lunch. Sorry, that's essentially all I eat. Whereas for dinner, I eat a little different stuff. I'm a little bit tired today, so bear with me here. I've been traveling all day. I'm on like a mini vacation thing, although I'll still be training. So if I'm a bit slow in this video, it's because of that. But I had to get it out. So yeah. And now I put on my weight vest, which is about 11 kilos still, so 25 pounds. That's really what I've been training with throughout all my time training here on YouTube. But I'm actually able, I think in this video, yeah, you'll see me do 9 reps, which I'm actually quite surprised by. In this workout, which I did a couple days ago, the 11 kilos felt super light. It almost felt like I didn't wear any weight. It's like, and I've just gotten stronger. I'm bulking at the moment. So like bulking paired with just doing the exercises consistently for a long time just builds strength. So I think I'll actually hit 9 reps in this video right here, my first set, where I always go all out. And I always use the first set of the chin-up as like my strength marker, right? As it's the exercise I'm the weakest on. So I think I did 9 reps, which I'm very happy with. And then I move on to push-ups. But as soon as I'll hit 10 reps, I think I'll add like 4 kilos. So I'll be doing chin-ups, push-ups, and squats with 15 kilos, about 37 pounds, which is quite a lot compared to what I've done in the past. So I'm actually quite happy with that, honestly. But not all your trainings are going to be good. I mean, my training yesterday, today is a rest day. I trained 2 days on, 1 day off, typically like 4 to 5 times a week. Not all days are going to be good. Like yesterday's training was terrible. I only hit like 6 reps on my first set of the chin-up for some reason. I think it was because I slept bad that night. And like I ate a bigger meal than usual. That might have played a factor. But for some reason, it just didn't feel that good. So that happens sometimes. But most workouts, if you stay consistent with your lifestyle, so I train at the same time every day pretty much. Like if you do that, you're very rarely going to run into episodes where like your trainings are just bad for some weird reason. It's mostly caused by you just being inconsistent with the time of day at which you train. Like, are you fed when you train? Always be fed when you train, so on and so forth. So be consistent with your lifestyle around training. It's very important. But yeah, I just finished my first circuit here of chin-ups, push-ups, and squats. And I'm resting now. And then I just do that 2 more times and I'm done. If I do that, I hit about 15-ish circuits a week, which is more than enough volume. You want to hit like 10 to 20 circuits or sets per muscle group. But as a circuit targets all the muscles in your body, you want to hit like 10 to 20 circuits a week, right? Which I do. And then you want to train to failure always. I mean, I train to failure on the chin-ups and push-ups. On the squat, I maybe don't go all the way as hard as I could. But that's just because it takes so goddamn long. Like, if you were to push all the way to absolute failure on squat, like, that would take forever. And on top of that, I already have pretty big legs. So I probably don't have to push that hard. I mean, I push to a point where it, like, starts to hurt. So I push hard, but I could probably push harder. Whereas on the chin-up, I'm literally not able to do more reps when I stop. You see me there, like, I couldn't do another rep. As soon as the concentric parts of the positive part of the movement slows down like that, like you're not able to do many more reps. And that's what training to failure looks like. It looks like the speed at which you do the movement slows down considerably. That's training to failure typically. Well, that's how you can like see if you train to failure or not, if you film yourself. Also here in the push-up, you can see there how it's slowed down. That's kind of what it looks like. And then for the squat. And a thing I didn't mention in the blueprint, like all the way, is that you want to make sure not to go too low in the squat so that your back starts to crack. If you do that consistently over a long period of time, you might run into back problems. It's like you want to make sure your back stays straight throughout the movement, right? But you want to come down to below your knees typically to see me here. But yeah, you can see me. I definitely push hard in the squats still. And I kind of always try to focus a little more on the left leg because I have a muscle imbalance. So my right leg is actually noticeably larger than the left. So I use my mind-muscle connection, which I also touched on in the blueprint, to sort of try to make that a little more symmetrical, you could say. I'm not going to be bothered to switch up my entire routine to do that. And the reason it's larger is because I have a leg asymmetry. So one of my legs is my left leg is longer than the right, so I always lean a little to the right when I squat, hence why my right leg over time has grown a little larger, right? So I just have to consciously be aware of that every time I do squats. And now I'm resting and I'm about to do my third set. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I do this to sort of, show how I implement the blueprint practically and how you could do it. I mean, just reading the blueprint as a true beginner, you're not going to get it all at all. So, like, it takes time to understand it, both theoretically, but also, like, just practically. And that's why I thought videos like this could be quite helpful, perhaps. Like, so I can actually show, like, over time, if you follow along week after week, how you actually do it. And then you obviously have to do it yourself as well. But yeah. So the last set, and you're never going to be as strong on your last set, pretty much. Neither does it matter. I mean, you still just want to push to failure. Always. That's very important for hypertrophy muscle growth. Like, if you don't push to failure, you don't give your muscles a good enough reason to grow. For strength, it's a little different. Like, you can get stronger by training, like, way below your point of failure for some reason. Just because they're slightly different. But if you train to failure and you progressively overload, like, you're still going to get stronger. So don't worry about that. The two go hand in hand most of the time. Almost all the time. That's all you should think about anyway, ideally. Push all the way out on the push-up. And, I mean, your cardio is always going to be hammered, especially on the squats. Or hammered is maybe not the right word. It's definitely going to be hit, like, quite noticeably. But you always want your cardio to maintain itself throughout. So you don't want to fail on cardio, in other words. You don't want to come to a point where you're so gassed that you cannot do another rep. Like, you want the muscles to fail, to give in before the cardio. Sort of do a little bit of a pause step there at the end, and I'm done. And that's the workout. It took 10 minutes more or less. And this is what I do, like, 2 days on, 1 day off typically. And then I eat those foods outlined in the blueprint. I'm bulking at the moment, so I'm eating a little more than normally. And then I just make sure to get enough sleep at night. And the number one rule to follow there is to wake up at the same time every day. That's very, very important. Like, just to sort of create like a routine around your sleep. That's very important. So your body actually knows, like, when it's about to sleep, and when it's time to wake up. So today I just wake up at 5 a.m. without my alarm clock. Like, it's just how my body just operates now for some reason, or because I've woken up at 5 a.m. consistently for a long time. So it's just far easier for your body to sleep, to fall asleep, to stay asleep, to wake up. So that's something I highly recommend. But yeah, this was the first video. I think I'm going to call this video week 1 perhaps, even though that's a terrible title. But I don't know what else to call it. Yeah, so I'm just going to talk about the blueprint in these videos, how it's implemented. If no one has any questions, I'm just going to rant like this probably. Just do it raw. Talk about what I'm doing, what I've been doing, how much I've progressed on my weight, and maybe show some physique photos once in a while, if any of you guys are interested. And I think that's about it. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll answer them. And then I'll also answer them in these videos and kind of elaborate a bit and go more in detail perhaps. So yeah, I hope this helped you. And again, if this doesn't help anyone ever, I'm gonna do it for some weeks, like for some time. But if no one shows any interest, I'm obviously gonna discontinue it. I just thought, like, these videos are kind of like the first videos I made when it comes to like the first fitness videos I made on the channel. But if no one's interested, then I'm gonna discontinue it. But I think it's of help to like beginners who are just to show how exactly I implement the blueprint, right? Because it's hard to get a full grasp just reading it. You kind of have to see it and do it consistently, have guidance along the way, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you.